Hey Simmers, I'm back with part 4 of my speed build. This time around we'll be, I believe, building another house, doing the pond, and I'm not 100% sure. So, picking up right where the last video left off, we're working right on this pond. I spent a good amount of time trying to figure out water, and oh my god, the amount of plants I had to put around this thing. I wanted it to look so nice. Thought about fountains and that, and I'm like, originally I was going to do all rocks around it, and then I'm like, oh god, no, 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 no. So I end up putting these reed plants. I go through and put a bunch of plants and grass. I try to make it look like it's kind of swampy, but not so much. There's a bunch of rocks in it. I start sticking trees around it. I wanted it to look as nice as possible. I just chose with the default color for the locks, and I'm just explaining everything I'm doing. Yeah, I wanted to try to hide the edge of the fountain. That's why you're seeing all these plants and that. Trust me, this took a long time doing by hand. But the final result I really, 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 really like. Yeah, found it easier just to stick bushes, like the plant bushes in the corners. it was it was a lot of work trying to get this part done. That's why I didn't plant anything in the actual garden area, because oh my god, that would have taken forever. But yeah, going through just picking random flowers and stuff like that, just to make it look as nice as possible, kind of make it look like it's a little wild. Yeah, I put some flowers in the fountain. The idea was it's not a fountain type thing, it's an actual pond. I want to throw some shade around around the kids' park play area. The next thing, I think it's a lot of plants at the start. Once I realized, I was like, oh, I only have one house for kids. I built a second house with another kids' room in it. I just wanted to fill this slot up with as much as I could for plants. I start looking around at everything, trying to figure out, do, trying to give each house their own little wash tub. I don't think I end up doing it all in the end. Give all of it in the end. I stuck some extra water collectors out, such as, in theory, everyone has their own water collector, or two, or three. I decided to play around with some plants, have it grow up the side of the buildings. I just realized how silly that looks. I decided to add a path so can walk through the garden. Uh, it, I just used different types, just trying to blend it in. I could have hit undo, but that would have been too much work. Yeah. So the next is another house right here in the center of the build. This is one for another family. I decided to make it a little bit different shaped in that. In the other, I decided to make it a little bit bigger, I believe. Yeah. Just so I could fit the stairs in. Again, with the grass roofs, solar panels, fans. Like I said, the idea is this is very much an eco-living styled house. They use a lot of the greens in that. Here I decided to combine the two, so you end up with a woodish house plus a shipping container combined. To me, it ends up being a little bit on the small side, but I'm okay with that. It's 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. Now figuring out windows. And I tend to use the smaller windows for the bathrooms all the time. So this is a family of 4, 2 parents, a young kid, and an adult. We start in the kitchen. What am I getting? Oh, I realized I didn't have a fire thing in here. Decided to do something a little different there. It actually does not have the wall on the end of it this time. Even with those large windows, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go with this kind of couch type thing. Uh, when I decide they finally need bins outside. Yeah. Figuring out the kitchens was always fun. I wanted to go with a little bit more of a reddish tone to the kitchen, hence why you got like the red counters, the reddish kind of floor and walls. Something a little different. And then the huge contrast in the white floor. This whole room's very earthy toned. Our room's earthy toned. Trying to figure out the kids' room walls. Picked that one because it had dinosaurs. I figured this kid loves dinosaurs. Now the teenager, I figured she'd be a little bit different than her rest of her family. She's very gothic kind of looking. I wish I could get the floor to match the walls. Couldn't get a flooring that I really cared to match it, so I went with that one. But it's very, she's gonna be like very gothic, horrorish kind of vibe. So you have all these people who are like super eco living and stuff like that, and then you have this teenage girl who is into vampires and dresses all in black. What I picture like the typical goth girl. So you have this entire bedroom that's like so opposite to the rest of the community. So it's like it just stands out when you look at it compared to the rest of the house. And for some reason, I switched from the house to even more solar panels. And back to the house. So yeah, the little gothic type look. I tried to find like vampire like stuff. So it's like uber skull in a glass thing, like so different than everything else in the build. Oh, I love it. It's so different. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was looking for the like the diary. Got a black diary. I think I eventually find a school bag. Put a black school bag in there. So instead of this, like, you have this bright, cheery family, and then you have the goth girl or boy. But now we start into the kids' room. Yeah, the coloring's not the best. I think I spent a good amount of time working on it. The the bathroom is so small. It was such a challenge. I ended up making the kids' room like a little bit smaller, just so I could fit everything into the bathroom. I eventually realized, oh, I could stick some of this stuff out in the up in the window still. The kids' room's so small, but then it's supposed to be a small kids' room, so trying to find bookcases that I like that fit. Nice brown tones throughout the room. So then they have the table. I want to try to center the table to the window, but I don't think I got it. Parents' bedroom. It's where you look at the kids' room. This is a very, very plain room. I figured they weren't big on having extravagant stuff, so they just kind of have this nice, tame, white room. So plain, like when I put up decorations, I think I Don't put up much. So we're getting near the end of this speed build, so until next time, Susu!